We are eternally connected to Krishna, God, as like we are all His children. So Krishna mentions in Gita, in chapter 15, that we all are His eternally connected, but we are forgotten Him, and we are struggling hard in His forgetfulness to be ourselves flawed in this way. It is Mamaivamsho Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha Manasashtani Indriyani Prakrutistani Karshati. So Krishna is saying here Mamaivamshaha. Mamaivamshaha means Mama Eva Amsha. Mama means mind. Amsha means part, or a fragmental part. So here part means we should not consider enough material sense, because in material sense, when suppose if you take a chunk and if you divide in two parts, the real part is lost in these two parts. But in spiritual, it is not like that. Because in spiritual, when the spirit, it cannot be cut into two parts. We have already understood in the previous video that spirit soul cannot be cut. But if Krishna is telling you that Mavai Vamsha, it means we are connected to Krishna. So the connection is nothing but our relationship, the Sambandha. And how is the Sambandha? The Sambandha is not for a temporary period, but it is eternal. Sanatanaha, that's what he mentions. Mamai eva amsha, mamai vamsho, jiva loke. Jiva means the living entity. All the living entities are my amsha. Mamai vamsho jiva loke. Loke means in this world. Mamai vamsho jiva loke. Jiva bhuta sanatanaha. Jiva bhuta means all the living entities. They are eternally. Sanatana means eternal. Eternally, they are my children. They are connected to me. How we are there in this world? Because he mentions that Manasashtani Indriyani Prakrutistani Karshati. Because of this mind and the five senses, total together six senses, among which mind is also one of them. Manasashtani Indriyani Prakriti Stani Karshati. Prakriti means the material nature. Stani Karshati means they are struggling. So they are actually struggling in this material world, taking themselves to the body and the senses. So that's what Krishna mentions. We understood that we are an eternal spirit soul. But how come that we are there in this body? And the body is not eternal. The body is temporary. And body has so many of conditions. You know, the soul is itself blissful. It is having all the knowledge. It is fully conscious of everything that is Chit, and it is eternal, Sat. So it is Sat Chit Ananda. So Atma is Sat Chit Ananda. But how come the body is completely exactly opposite? And even we have to struggle for existence. We have to even struggle a lot to exist in this world. So what is that struggle? We are having so many conditionings. This called as Baddhata. So it means, like it is mentioned in scriptures, like Janma Mrityu, Shut, Vipat, and Shoka Moha. It means the birth, death, hunger, thirst, and lamentation, and hankering. So these six things are always tormenting the living entity, the Jiva, which is pure soul, which is pure spirit soul, which is eternal and always blissful. So how come God's stuck in this? As we are eternally like part and parcel of Krishna, being God, we also have the minutest portion, we have His qualities. Like one of the quality of Krishna is to be independent, and we also have that the quality of independence to a minor degree. And when we misuse the independence in the sense we have our free will. Free will means it's not that like some people believe that everything is predestined. No, it's not like that. So we have our free will. Our choose our goals, our aspirations, and our actions. So that is called the minor independence. By misuse of our minor independence, the jiva struggles in this material world of this and obtaining the conditioned nature. And the conditioned nature makes the jiva struggle in this world. That's what Krishna is telling. Prakriti karshati in the last line. The struggle is just like if suppose, just imagine a prisoner in the prison house is shackled by the iron shackles. So when he is shackled by iron shackles, he is not free to move. He cannot do what he wants to do, what he like to do, because he is shackled. Similarly, when the living entities are shackled by the body, they have to struggle in this world. But the body itself is like a shackle, but it is not free. In what sense? It has to undergo these 6 things like birth, death, shoka, moha, that is lamentation and anchoring, and then hunger and thirst, which is not there for soul. So this soul doesn't have to struggle for existence. It is eternal and it is always blissful. So there is a story in a Bible also, the story of a prodigal son. So a very rich, wealthy landlord, he had a son and he used to love his son so much. But the son once told his father, please give me my share and I want to live. I want to make my own living separately. And father asked him, please stay with me. Everything is yours. But the son was adamant. He wanted to be independent and he wanted to be separate, and he took his share and he went out. But soon, whatever he had collected, the riches from his father, exhausted because of his wrong association, then he has to suffer a lot. He was struggling here and there, going here and there, and for begging food. Then one fine day, his father's friend happened to pass by there, and he sees this boy, and he immediately stops and speaks to him. He says, hey, you are a son of my friend, then why are you here? You should come back. Then the son laments, why I have left my father. Then he asks his father's friend that, will my father accept me if I go back? Father's friend assures him, your father is waiting since the time he have left your home. Please come back. And he comes back. And the father, with tears of love, he receives him and embraces him. So this story is mentioned in Bible. What it is conveying that soul's relationship with the Paramatma, the famous God, is similar to this. The soul is disconnected from the God and is struggling and suffering in this world. And once it again connects to the Lord, he again revives his eternal relationship with the Lord, and he can become again he will attain his original blissful nature. Soul disconnected to the Lord, the Atma, which is disconnected to the Paramatma, is just like a fish which is taken out of the water. And you offer any other thing to the fish. You offer some eatables, you offer some like other material things, but it is not satisfied until and unless it goes back to the water, because the water is the life for the fish. As soon as the fish enters back into the water body, it feels, I have again got my life back. Similarly, the Atma, if it is disconnected to the Lord and is even getting so many other material things, it is not satisfied. Whatever material things it may accomplish, but as soon as the Atma again connects and again revives its relationship with the Lord, then it naturally becomes satisfied, because it is like just like a fish has got its life back. Similarly, Atma has got its real life back. Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, that is ISKCON, he would mention that the modern society is a cage punishing civilization. So what do you mean by this cage punishing? So he narrates a small story regarding this. There was an old lady, she brought a parrot to her house and she put the parrot inside a cage. Like, parrot has to be fed every day, and the parrot also needs food. But she neglected to care for the parrot, to feed the parrot. Instead, she started polishing the cage, and parrot cried and screamed again and again in wanting of the food. But the lady never cared for the parrot. She kept on polishing the cage, and one fine day the parrot lost its life and fell dead. This Prabhupada mentions that modern civilization also is not trying to understand the real thing, that is the soul, the spirit. Instead, they are just busy all the time in just pampering this body or taking care of the body, because body is just a cover for the soul. It's cover for the Atma, it is perishable. So instead of that, it's just focus towards the inner need of the soul. Like the parent was to be fed, literally, the soul also needs the food. The body is the food for the soul. So the food for the soul is the loving relationship to the God. That loving relationship to the God is called as bhakti. So once the soul starts, the Atma starts again reviving its relationship to the Paramatma. So that is itself the food for the soul, that gives the immense satisfaction for the Atma. So the best way the Shastras mentions to revive our sambandha to the Paramatma is by chanting his names, by repeating his divine holy names. Like it is mentioned in Vaishya Purana and also in the Kari Santarana Upanishad that among all the different names, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the supreme mantra to be chanted in this Kali Yuga. That is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So just by chanting this holy names of Krishna repeatedly, at least 108 times, so we start reviving our sambandha to Krishna, to Paramatma. Thank you. Hare Krishna.